এখানে একটা পরিকল্পনা চলছে চক্রান্ত করে বিজেপি কিছু এজেন্সিকে দিয়ে লোক সাজিয়ে নিজের লোক তৈরি করে গভর্নমেন্ট অফ ইন্ডিয়া ডিক্টেট করে বাংলাকে বদনাম করে বিভিন্ন এজেন্সিকে দিয়ে
अभी मैं वैक्सीनेटेड नहीं हूँ, पर मेरे पापा के पास में मैसेज आ गया है कि मैं वैक्सीनेटेड हूँ।
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. India continues its ambitious drive to inoculate all adults by the end of the year as more vaccines are entering India's arsenal. The latest in the pipeline being Zydus Cadila's vaccine. The pharma firm says post the nod from regulators, the vaccine will be available in 45 to 60 days. After India's record-setting vaccination drive on June 21st, where close to 90 lakh jabs were given on a single day, the jab drive has somewhat slowed down with an average of around 20 lakh vaccines being administered on a daily basis. But public confidence has also taken a hit with the emergence of vaccine scams and irregularities in Maharashtra, Bengal and Madhya Pradesh. In Mumbai, which was once the epicenter of the COVID crisis, over 2,000 fake jabs, which were saline solutions, were administered in Kandivali. Over 10 people have been arrested. And while the centre has demanded accountability, the Ghadi government has blamed the union government for the lapses. In Bengal, over 500 people were given fake vaccines in Kolkata. The racket was operated by a fake IAS officer who has been linked to both the TMC and the Bengal governor. The main accused and his aides are in custody and the centre has demanded an explanation from the state government. But Mamata Banerjee has blamed the Union Health Minister for the scam, saying her government has taken all necessary action. In Madhya Pradesh, which has led the vaccine drive on many days, certificates have been issued to multiple beneficiaries who did not even get one shot. In fact, even a 13-year-old boy got a vaccine certificate when those below 18 are not even eligible for the jab. The opposition has accused the state government of fudging the numbers, calling the vaccine drive a PR gimmick. The vaccine is our biggest defense against the coronavirus that continues to mutate. As we unlock, the virus threatens the entire country with a third wave. Such scandals risk derailing all the progress we have made in battling this disease, as it shakes the faith of the public, while escalating politics helps no one. So where does the buck stop? Joining me on the show, Charan Singh Sapra, Congress spokesperson, Guru Prakash representing the BJP, Professor Om Prakash Mishra, TMC spokesperson, Professor Dilip Mavlankar is director at IIPHG. Professor Mishra of the TMC, Debanjan Deb, the main accused behind the Kolkata's fake vaccine scam, posed as an IS officer for years, moved around in a blue beacon car. The question is, instead of saying he has associations with the governor, which you are alleging today, what has your government been doing for all these years?
Thank you. You have chosen to discuss West Bengal, chosen to discuss Maharashtra, and surprisingly and happily, I find that you have also chosen to discuss Madhya Pradesh today. Imposters, and the imposter has been caught because of the vigilance of a Trinamool Congress member of parliament. And there is no doubt that this imposter, who posed as an IAS officer, has no locus standi, and strict action is being taken against him. However, in the context of Bengal, you would see that this fake IAS was cheating the people of Bengal, cheating the government of West Bengal, and now he has been caught. But in the context of Madhya Pradesh, it is the government of the day that is involved in a massive cover-up.
Yes,
let's
focus on Bengal first. I will be discussing the other two states as well, Professor Mishra. I have one question to ask. You can call it a planted game as Mamata Banerjee did. But how does this really help the people? Here is someone who has been functioning with impunity and he went around mingling with high and mighty in Bengal.
But this is clearly that we have had an impostor, but finally he has been caught. It is not that any of the news channel broke the story, and in fact the channels, they have been covering him as well. Of course, there has been laxity. We have to be vigilant, but then there is no doubt that it is because of a Trinamool Congress member of parliament that this impostor has actually now been grounded.
Guru, come in on this. Here is the Bengal government which has ordered a SIT probe. What's your government in Madhya Pradesh doing? On 21st, you claimed over 17 lakh vaccinated, but among the so-called beneficiaries is a 13-year-old as well, who is not even eligible for a jab.
Maria, I think by any objective standards, it is not appropriate to compare what is happening in Madhya Pradesh to what is happening in Maharashtra and West Bengal. I think that is completely preposterous at the very first instance. As far as the track record of Madhya Pradesh is concerned, let me make this very clear. You have pointed it out that on 21st, Madhya Pradesh vaccinated 17.42 lakh people, to be very precise. On 23rd, it was 11.43 lakh. On 24th, it was 7 lakh. On 26th, it was 9.64 lakhs. So, of all these vaccinations, if there are 2 to 4 cases, I think you can have some space for human error. I am not at all advocating or supporting this, but we must understand there are human beings who are operating it. So 2 to 4 cases, whatever there are, we are looking into it, and strict inquiry must be initiated.
Yes,
and
but why hasn't that been done already? The question is, Guru, why hasn't it been done already? If these reports have come out in the public domain, it is about the larger faith of people in the entire vaccination drive. If someone is entering a vaccine center for a jab, he will start thinking about what has happened in Maharashtra, what has happened in Bengal, whether he's getting a saline water or whether it's a genuine Covaxin or a Covishield.
Maria, of 40 odd lakh vaccination, if there are 2 to 4 cases, you cannot raise question on the integrity or the credibility of the entire vaccination drive in the state. Point number one. Second point, Mr. Vishwas Sarang, who happens to be the medical education minister in Madhya Pradesh, he has categorically said that if anything comes up, we will get it investigated. So there is no question of it not being investigated. Whatever happened, we condemn it, and we strongly advocate that strictest inquiry, transparent inquiry, and toughest action would be taken against whoever is mistaken here.
Okay, fine.
But this is a matter of human error. Please don't compare it with what happened in the Maharashtra or what happened in West Bengal.
Okay, so if this is human error, but the two state governments also discovered it themselves and they have ordered inquiry, both in Maharashtra and in Bengal. Then how is this different from what has happened there? If it is a case of imposter who has been highlighted by the state government, and I'm going to talk about what the court has said in Calcutta as well in just a bit, it's the same. If it is a vaccine scam in 2 states, it's about beneficiaries being escalated, the number being exaggerated there.
Maria, it's like comparing apple and oranges. What has happened in Kolkata, right under your nose in Kasba area, which happens to be the heart of the Kolkata, one random person who has been impersonating as an IS officer, he is organizing some vaccination camp, and it was our leader of opposition, West Bengal leader Shubhendu Adhikari ji, who brought out this. Otherwise, he would have continued. What sort of vaccination was being administered over there? The people of West Bengal deserve to know the truth. The TMC is busy in politics. Since May 2nd, we have seen they are not interested in the people of West Bengal.
Okay, Professor Mishra, you know, health is a state subject. For the longest time, all chief ministers kept writing to the Prime Minister that first, that they should be made stakeholders. When they were told, go procure vaccines on your own, 50-50 formula, then you failed obviously, because the global manufacturers said that they need indemnity. For that, you have to enter into contract with the central government. Then Mamata Banerjee and others wrote that let there be central procurement. If that starts, then you start blaming the central government. This logistical arrangement is the duty of the state government, which you should be doing, rather than blaming the center, the health minister here.
Maria, you can very well see the irony here. The irony is the central government considers itself empowered and at the same time it actually does not want to fulfill its responsibility. This entire vaccination policy has been a sham, and that has been proved time and again. And here I must point out that in the context of Bengal and Madhya Pradesh, situation is very different. In Madhya Pradesh, and I am making a charge here, that the entire state government actually was involved in faking the vaccination drive on 21st June. What was the vaccination numbers on 20th June, on 19th June? We do know that this is a PR exercise that has gone haywire. Madhya Pradesh government has been caught completely naked, and it's the government itself that was involved. In the context of West Bengal, an imposter
you'll have to
was
respond
involved.
to that.
He has been caught,
But before
and
that,
he has
let me
been
get a
caught
quick word
red-handed by a member of parliament
also
from
from
the
Charan
Trinamool
Singh
Congress.
Sapra. Charan Singh Sapra, according to Maharashtra Health Minister, total of 2,040 people have fallen prey to the vaccination scam in Mumbai. We have seen how important what it was, particularly in the context of Maharashtra, because Maharashtra has been worst affected both by the first wave and also by the second wave. My question is, can the state government continue to blame the center instead of fixing the nuts and bolts of vaccine drive on ground?
See, Maria, I don't feel that the Health Minister of Maharashtra has blamed the central government. We have already instituted a SIT. 10 FIRs have been filed, 12 people have been arrested, including the kingpin, Mr. Rajesh Pandey, who was arrested yesterday. Also, Dr. Tripathi and the Shivam Hospital management, they all have been arrested. The Maharashtra government and the Mumbai police has taken action on these fraudsters who, you know, they tried to dodge the BMC, they tried to create a fraud with the beneficiaries, and they have done this. Similar case has happened in West Bengal. But as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, let me tell you that amplifying the number or enhancing the numbers of beneficiaries is also an equal crime. And why it is happening in Mumbai or West Bengal, it can happen elsewhere also, because of one option which Modi government has given of 25% private procurement. Now here is the room for the fraudsters to plan something. That's what Congress was, you know, demanding initially, that there should be 100% procurement by the central government, and there should be rational distribution, and 100% vaccination should be done free
Mr.
by the
Sapra,
central
I
government.
don't think so really
This
that
was
is an
what
argument
Congress
here,
was demanding.
because
Had Modi agreed
private
to this,
procurement
there wouldn't
was
have
for
been such
private
frauds.
hospitals. There are a number of people who do not want to go for a government driven vaccine drive. They would rather go to a private hospital. I'm not sure if that is a fair
I'll answer
argument
you.
about procurement. 25% that is being done by the private hospitals now.
No, see, Maria, there only they got the option, na? There only they got a chance to, you know, plan a roadmap to create a fraud, to earn money with such means. That's how they planned. Had the central government not given a chance for this private procurement,
since you have
how would
raised a
these
specific
doctors,
point
they
about
wouldn't have bought
policy,
these vaccines.
let me bring Professor Mavlankar. Professor Mavlankar, when you look at these multiple states from where these frauds or scams are being reported, what's your thought? Where is it going wrong?
I think in such a large program, frauds, especially when vaccine is in short supply and people want and demand is high, is likely to happen. So one is we have to be careful. And the lesson to learn from this is that in future we have to announce which are the official places from where the government is distributing, either government hospitals, private hospitals, or which are the agencies which are authorized dealers or providers of vaccine, which was not probably done, and that's why the people approached other private societies, etc., and got this fraudulent vaccine. The other side is that when there is a pressure sometimes to show large achievements, not only in this, if you know the history of family planning program, for a long time, many numbers were escalated by all kinds of governments in family planning. So when there is a pressure or any program where targets are to be achieved, this type of chances are possible. And third and possible is also genuine errors. But the positive side is we have this CoWIN software If we had all manual systems, we can't imagine what would have happened in terms of misuse, frauds, and they would have not even come to the notice unless special inquiries were held about that. So the software is at least sending messages to people saying you are vaccinated, and they are coming out saying we are not vaccinated. So on a very small scale, these are getting caught because of this software which is being
Okay, Professor Mavlankar,
issued.
today Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan in fact put out series of tweets that was to essentially respond to the charge that had come from both Maharashtra and also from West Bengal. But look at the information that he put out. He talked about how total of 12 crore doses shall be made available for states in July, and this is private hospital supply will be over and above this. The states have been told clearly that 15 days prior notice the states have been given all the details, and along with the day-wise supply. Do you think with these kind of detailing, that scope of human error or things going wrong in terms of scams will no longer be there?
It will reduce, but even from the private sector, they have to specify that these are the hospitals and these are the nodal officers in these hospitals which are authorized to provide services, and they can provide, whether they can provide home service or area service camps, or they can only give vaccine in the hospital. If that is not clear, then still there may be possibility of some frauds happening. But as you have brought this out, I'm sure more and more people will be aware, and they will be looking for the official information either on the website or who are the official people who are authorized to give this vaccine.
If the center is hand-holding this entire vaccination drive, Professor Mishra, and rightly so, because you all wanted it, this is cooperative federalism as we are looking at. Throughout the throughout the pandemic, we have seen a very proactive center. Then why look at blame game? How does this blame game really help you? Professor Mishra, have you muted yourself, sir?
We have seen that at every count, the central government has come round to the point of view of the opposition political parties and the opposition ruled states much afterwards. It is the same thing that the government, but that we have been saying, Mamata Banerjee has been saying, that the center had to accept it. Point is that why this much of delay? Secondly, we know it very well that our union government, central government did not take active interest in procurement, and that is how and why we are lagging behind. Right now, certain efforts are being made and we will welcome that. But at the same time, let us not have any illusion that India's vaccination policy driven by the Modi government has been faulty from the very start, and the nation and our public health system is paying a very heavy price.
Okay, Guru.
Maria, this politics over death, politics over vaccine, the negativity in the discourse, it has been the hallmark of opposition politics since the onset of the pandemic. And that is extremely unfortunate. When we are facing a pandemic that is unprecedented, the opposition is doing politics. These are the same people who said vaccine nationalism. These are the same people who said, why are you making us guinea pigs? So I clearly don't understand. They don't have a clarity of thought when it comes to the policy of vaccination. Today, it's a press release by Press Information Bureau. Let me make this very clear. More than 32.92 crore vaccine doses have already been provided by the government of India to state and UTs. And more than 1.24 crore lakh doses are still available with the state UTs to be administered. So I seriously don't understand. There was a question raised on the private procurement as well. I would like to educate my friends over here. That there was a decision recently taken that the private procurement will now happen through CoWIN, the CoWIN app. And also you cannot order beyond a certain limit. That limit is going to be decided by the doses which you used in last month. For one entire week, you can doubly take that dose. But this politics of vaccination is doing a great amount of disservice to our vaccination campaign. And again, I would like to say that the couple of cases, 2 to 3 to 4 cases came in Madhya Pradesh. So it is completely inappropriate to compare what happened in Madhya Pradesh. It was human error. What happened in Maharashtra and West Bengal, it was negligence on the part of the state government, and they must inquire and institute a very strict and transparent inquiry as
Yes.
soon as possible.
Okay, Charan Singh Sapra, the comparison here being made by Guru Prakash, human error versus what is negligence, and in a way, as far as Bengal is concerned, a state government who let an impostor perhaps act till the time he was discovered for years. Because look at what the Calcutta High Court has said, that shouldn't the leaders be knowing who is a joint commissioner, as it is a senior rank? And they have asked a specific question, that how can somebody move around as a joint commissioner for years and mingle with the high and mighty in Bengal? But more than that, look at what has happened in Maharashtra. While you may put the blame also on Madhya Pradesh, why blame the center? The center here is asking what is going wrong in every state. They are seeking explanation from each and every state. Shouldn't the buck stop somewhere? Who has to be held accountable? Will you be saying the center has to be held accountable, or what about your government?
See, Maria, number one, the BJP spokesperson is desperately trying to safeguard the Shivraj Chauhan government. Let me remind him that it is not 2 or 3 cases, there are hundreds of cases. Let the state government investigate that. Why are they not investigating that? Why the central government has written letters only to West Bengal and to Maharashtra? Why not to Madhya Pradesh government also? They are not investigating at all, and they are just trying to shy away with the investigation. The other reason is, like I said, that this whole vaccination policy of Modi government was like a policy paralysis. Since beginning they are flouting. There is a flip-flop in this policy. They exported 6.5 crore vaccines when they were needed in India. They could not buy at a proper time. Now they have again started procurement from the foreign companies. They have delayed the entire vaccination procurement. That is why there is a problem in this country. Now slowly the policy paralysis, they are trying to resolve it. But we have already been delayed. The issue is that the scamsters, the fraudsters are there.
Yes.
They are going to take benefit of any loophole which the central government will leave.
So
The loophole
let
is
me
the
give the final
25%
words to
which they
Professor
have given for
Mavlankar,
private
who is away from
That
all
is the
the
major
politicians
loophole.
and all the politics that's going on over the vaccination drive. It has been going on much before the first vaccine was given on 16th of January. Professor Mavlankar, are there loopholes in the policy, or are you of the opinion that nobody is taking responsibility here?
No, I think whatever has happened has happened. We could always say that in the past this could have been done, that could have been done, it would have been better. But now what we have to see is how best to vaccinate our most vulnerable people at the most rapid speed with it is required.
Okay.
And approval of more vaccines and import of vaccines is one route. Second is manufacturing locally and increasing the capacities.
Okay.
Is that the other route? So that is what, rather than getting into this politics, I think the state and center has to work together to ensure that vaccine is available to all people
Absolutely.
who are needing it.
Professor Mavlankar, always a pleasure to have you on the shows. Thank you so much for your time. Professor Mishra, Guru Prakash and Charan Singh Sapra, thank you so much for your time. There's a piece of breaking news coming in now. And Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar and his wife have been named by the Enforcement Directorate in the money laundering case linked to the Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank scam. Vinaya Deshpande is joining me on the phone line. Vinaya, give us the details.
Well, Maria, extremely crucial because this has been an old case, but right now ED sources tell me that it is likely that Ajit Pawar may even be called for questioning. So trouble there for Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar and his wife Sunetra Pawar. Both have been named in the press release issued by the Enforcement Directorate today. Remember, this is an old case with respect to the Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank, which was under the scanner of the Mumbai police, in which the Economic Offences had already registered an FIR way back in 2019. The ED was looking into this, and today the ED has said that several equities, including land, building, structure, plant and machinery have been attached by the ED. This is with respect to the Jarandeshwar Sahakari Sugar Karkhana, which has direct links to Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank. This in turn is connected to Sparkling Soils Private Limited, which is a company which is directly related to both Ajit Pawar as well as his wife Sunetra Pawar. So this is an important action which has been taken by the Enforcement Directorate. Clear troubles for the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra Ajit Pawar, also his wife Sunetra Pawar, even as ED indicates that if need be, the Deputy Chief Minister can be called for questioning.
All right, Vinaya Deshpande, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's all from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow.